Hey friend, welcome to my place. I'm so glad you're here today. My name is Katie, and it's finally time for me to share my story with the world. Are you like me and you have had experiences in life that you think, I should share these? Maybe somebody could benefit, or maybe somebody finds what I do interesting, or maybe you think nobody finds anything you do interesting and you have no experiences. Well, that's not true. We all do, and we should all share ourselves in some way. But maybe also, like me, you sit down to think about how you might go about sharing it and just draw a complete blank and don't even know where to start. That has been me for 13 years. And I wonder, is it too late? Am I behind? Where would I even start? What do people want to hear about? I don't know. But I don't think it's too late. I think it's right on time. So let me back up a little bit and tell you why it's taken me 13 years to share my story. So 13 years ago, I was a 34-year-old woman right on the cusp of what my mama would call the prime of life. She loved being 35 years old. I think that she was the most content, healthy, and alive during that time, and it was just her favorite. And she always told me that it was just the best. It was shaping up to be that way for me too. I was a wife, a homeschooling mom of 3 young boys. We had the privilege of living on the working dairy farm that I grew up on, living in my childhood home while my parents lived on the same property and could help out with the kids. My husband ran his own business, a cleaning business, and I only had to help out on the farm either when I was needed or just wanted to. Life was sweet, but something happened. Actually, 2 things happened. Let me tell you about them. 2 things happened that I didn't realize at the time had completely altered the course of my life. And if I'm being really honest, I'm still trying to navigate my way through where it took me. And it's not the things that you might be guessing. See, I'm still happily married to the same man, my high school sweetheart. We'll be celebrating 29 years this summer. Our boys are healthy young men now. The 2 older boys have successfully graduated from homeschool. The oldest graduated from college, is married, and in a career that he loves. The middle one is currently attending college and has big dreams for the future. And our baby, he's still in high school and scheduled to graduate from homeschool in 2028. We still live on the farm in the same house that I grew up in, that I moved into when I was 10 months old. And my husband still runs that same cleaning business. Life is still really sweet. So what happened? So it started with an extreme drought that happened in the southern United States between the years of 2010 and 2013. Because of the lack of forage from the drought to feed the cattle, coupled with some financial difficulties, my dad faced the really hard decision to sell off the milking herd, which consisted of over 300 milking cows. So the sale came and the cows went, and suddenly the farm that was always buzzing with activity, tractors driving by the house with wagons load of feed, waking up in the morning to hear the buzzing sound of the milker at the dairy barn, it all just fell quiet. and it broke my heart. Thankfully, we were able to keep the younger animals and also the beef herd. And so I realized that I needed to become involved in the farm and not just live there. And so the boys, who were at the time 10, 8, and 3, and I began helping out, taking care of baby calves, raising up those heifers, and getting the farm to a different place. The hope was to see it come back to life, maybe similar to how it had been before. But we didn't know what would happen. The second thing that happened was, in the midst of all the preparations in the fall of 2011 for this sale, my dad came to me and he said, "I think something's wrong. I think something's wrong with your mom." And of course, I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, I think you've known it for a long time, or you've noticed." The truth is, I hadn't noticed. I just thought some of those things were normal. He asked me to not argue with her so much. He told me that it upset her a lot when I would correct her. I thought that these were just normal mother-daughter, just not getting along great things. But he mentioned some other things that were going on, like things that were uncharacteristic for her. Like he came in the house one day and every cabinet door in the kitchen was open. And she had some excuse as to why they were open, but he knew that that wasn't normal for her, because that was important, that you don't leave cabinet doors open. She began to struggle with financial bookkeeping and just being generally forgetful. She was very argumentative when she was found to be wrong about anything, and get very agitated. You might be thinking, that sounds familiar. If you have any experience with this, yes, we suspected it too. Dementia. Spoiler alert, it was. So, that was 13 years ago. And as you can imagine, many, many things happened in 13 years. And along the way, I thought I should document some of these things. But it just never felt right. But it feels right now, because I'm in this transition period, and maybe you too. Maybe you're in this midlife transitional, on the verge of, between child rearing and the next stage of life. And you're just trying to figure it out. Well, that's what I'm trying to do too. And I think sharing the story is part of it. So, I've given you just little tidbits of the things that I have experience with, and I have much more. It's just the tip of the iceberg. There's all kinds of details that might be interesting, might be helpful. At my core, I am an encourager, and I want to encourage you. So tell me, what part of my story that I have shared today do you have questions about? What would you like to hear more about? Maybe I'll make a video about it, and maybe we'll get to know each other a little bit better. Again, thank you for being here today. And until next time, keep on keeping on.